Today we're going to talk about mindset. All right. I know we've been training all month long on phone scripts and phone work, and I hope you guys have been putting in the work to improve that and get that done. But at the end of the day, if you don't have the right mindset and you don't have the right reasons for being here, all the training in the world don't make a fucking difference, right? If you're not ready here, what's the matter, okay? And I want to talk a little bit about attitude and service, okay? And I want to talk about changing your thinking. When you change your thinking, you could change your life, okay? It's just how it works, okay? What you let in, what you let out is becomes your reality, okay? And how many of you guys believe attitude and service equals gross? Okay? Attitude, service, and value equal gross. What are we here for? Money. We're here to make money. The recipe is simple. We provide excellent service. We provide over-the-top value, and our customers will be obligated to pay us gross, right? Carlos, what'd your team do yesterday?
We did 13 cars plus 3 for 72 grand.
13 cars for $72,000. Cody, what'd your team do yesterday?
9 cars for 44 grand.
Nice.
9 cars for 44 grand. Let me see here. Aaron, where's Aaron at?
8 for 39.9.
8 for $40,000, right?
Nice.
Merced did 4 for 28 grand yesterday. When we bought the Merced store in November, they had did 29,000 for the entire month of October, the month prior to us buying it. Yesterday, they did 4 for $28,000. This is not by luck that all of our stores consistently make gross. And for those of you that are in the car business or just left other stores, does this happen everywhere? Was your last store Gross Monsters? No. Why? Why is that? Do we have different cars? Is there something special about our location? Or is it in our thinking? Is it in our mindset? Okay? When we have the right attitude and we provide the right service, do we obligate people to pay for that service? It's funny how this shit works, guys. It's funny how this works. Okay? Training is not just training to get better at that content we're working on. The better you get at doing this job, the less you have to use this training that we teach. It's so weird how it works. It's like fighting. The better you become at fighting, the less you ever fight. You just put off an aura that people know, probably better not try it, right? And the better you get at doing this portion, doing this job, the less you have to overcome those objections you used to have to overcome, the less you run into snags and problems that you used to have to deal with in the beginning, right or not? Omar's a great example. Do you have to deal with any of the stuff you had to deal with your first 6 months? No. Can you even remember those objections? And sometimes I got to take myself back because one of you guys, fresh guys, will ask me, Curtis, what do you do in this situation? And I got to think about that for a second because I'm like, fuck, I haven't been asked that in 20 years. Let me think about that for a second. I guess if I got asked that again, here's how I'd handle that. It takes me a second to bring it back, right? The better you get at this, the better trained you are, the less you have to use it. It's funny how it works, guys, okay? Attitude and service. Let's talk about attitude real quick, okay? Obviously, you want to have a positive attitude, okay? Let's talk about that, though. What happens when you have a positive attitude? Attitude is something that you have a choice for. Okay, you have a choice what you want your attitude to be like. You really do. And what comes natural is to view things in a negative view. That's what's most natural. In fact, 80% of your thoughts generally are negative. You have to actually be conscious to maintain a positive attitude all the time. Here's what's crazy. If you do it long enough, it becomes more natural. That 20% becomes 30%, and it just keeps on going. Okay? But when you have a positive attitude, you fucking feel better. You feel better. I'm not looking for reasons to be upset or be angry. And when you carry a positive attitude, things roll off your back so much easier. You don't get stuck on little things. You don't get stuck on small details that could cost you more money than what you're worried about. You don't get caught in these little things. The second thing is you start to put off an aura, and people like to be around you. Do people like to be around people that are negative? No, they don't. And negative people always think they're only negative in certain situations. They don't even realize that they create that negative aura around them. You know, they'll say things like, well, I'm only this way with you. When I'm in front of a customer, I'm not like that. I'm this way. But your customers are always pissed off. So you know, I don't think that's the case. Right or not? Right or not? They always think like, oh, no, it's only situational. Only in this scenario am I like that. But if in this scenario, no. How you do anything is how you do everything, okay? And if you're a whiner, if you whine and cry, if you look for reasons to be the victim, if you are looking for reasons to be upset, looking for reasons why things are always somebody else's fault and went wrong, that's what it's going to be. You can't turn that on and off. It just sticks with you, okay? So, having a positive attitude is a conscious choice, but you do have to make a conscious effort, okay? And you got to learn, here's the biggest thing, is you got to learn how to not let negativity in. That's it. You get a choice of what you want to let in and what you want to participate in, okay? Have you ever noticed that somebody who's having a bad day wants to share it with as many people that are willing to listen? They do. They want confirmation that, hey, I'm right in this situation, right? You'd be upset too about this, right? They want that confirmation. They want that engagement. What productive comes out of that? What's productive in that? Okay? Don't be afraid to nicely let somebody know, bro, I don't really want to participate in that. Think of something else to talk about. They might be embarrassed for a minute, but that's going to help them realize, you know what? This is not productive. This is not. Because I don't want to take it in. I don't want to hear it. Okay? Or you could just be rude like me and just say, I don't know what made you think I gave a fuck about that, but whatever I said, please take it back. Right? Either way, you know, you have an option. Don't let it in. Okay? Second thing, when we talk about attitude, is winning a part of having the right attitude? How many of you guys generally come here every day to win? And that's really your goal when you come here today. You come here to win. And you're not going to take no for an answer. Okay? When you start your day like that regularly and you just drill that, I'm fucking coming to win today. I'm giving up my time. I'm here on a Sunday. I'm going to be here all day long. No matter what, I got to put in these 8 hours. This time's already given to somebody. I've already obligated this time to the company. I'm going to win today. Somebody is going to pay for that time, right? I'm not doing this for the fun of it. I'm not doing this by myself. Somebody's going to participate with me, and somebody's going to help me win today. Make sense? But you got to have that winning attitude, okay? And again, the more you bring this stuff into your attitude, the more you talk about it, it becomes your reality. That's how it works, okay? What you verbalize starts becoming your reality, okay? No excuses. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if it's raining. Doesn't matter if I got 40 guys on the floor. You know, when I went back to the line in 2014 from sales manager back to the floor, there was 40 salespeople there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I have no excuses. There's nothing that's going to stop me from winning today. I don't care how much rain it is. I don't care if we don't get no ups. I'll create my own. There'll be somebody in that service department getting their car. Somebody's going to come in for a fucking windshield wiper today. Right or not? You got a scratch windshield wiper scratching the window. They're going to be in there for a $20 part. And if that's the only person I got to talk to, they're going to leave $25,000 later. Right? With 3 years warranty on that windshield wiper. But you got to have a no excuses attitude. If I'm coming to win, it doesn't matter what obstacles are in front of me. I'm still going to win. I'm still going to win. Okay? You take responsibility. When you start taking responsibility for everything in your life, that's when your life starts changing. Okay? Because you rule out all the excuses. If I don't take responsibility for everything, then I'm going to pick and choose my spots. I'm going to make excuses when things don't go right, but I'll take credit when things go good. No, that's not how you improve. You don't get better if you don't take responsibility for your failures. Okay? And if you want to change your thinking even better, then there are no failures. It's just part of the process. You win or you learn. Right? But if I take responsibility for my failures, analyze them, come up with a new solution, how I'm not going to repeat that, is that a win or is that a failure? It's part of learning. Right? Nobody's going to get it right 100% of the time. Failures are a biggest part of learning. But if I don't take responsibility for those, and I don't make corrections, and I don't own them, then you're not going to get better. You're going to become an excuse maker, right? What happens when you start making excuses and then you do find that guy that listens to you and agrees with you? Yeah, you're right, man. You got fucked on that. Now what? This is the devil's playground. Now you got somebody to confirm that excuse. Now you feel better about it. What do you think is going to happen next time something don't go your way? Are you going to take responsibility? Or are you going to go right back to that other one that made you feel better? Right? What do you think happens to this salesperson? They decline. They go into a downhill spiral that they cannot get out of. And once that becomes the norm and that becomes the easy go-to, you're gone. 3 months later, you're out of the business, right? And you have the excuse of, oh, I didn't like the hours. Oh, I didn't like my management. Whatever the case is, right? We all know that guy, right? I used to make $10,000 a month, but I didn't like it. Right or not? We all know that guy. And I guarantee you, before they left the business, this became the norm. And they went into that downhill spiral, and they couldn't snap out of it. Okay? You take responsibility for everything, guys. Winners take responsibility for everything. Okay? And they make corrections, and they learn from them, and they continue to get better. Okay? Determination. Okay? A nothing can stop me attitude. Okay? It goes right along with this whole winning over here. That's the attitude. That's the attitude I have every day. When I come to work, when I wake up, nothing's going to stop me. I have days where I don't fucking feel like going to the gym. That alarm clock goes off at 4:45. I love Saturdays and Sundays because the gym don't open until 6. I could sleep into 5:20. Right? I don't always feel like doing it. But I'm like, fuck, if I don't do this, what's next? I'm probably going to eat shit today. I'm going to eat junk food instead of eating right because I fucked off my workout. Fuck it, now I'll eat crap all day. And the next thing you know, I'm feeling like a turd. Right? No. Nothing can stop me attitude. Okay? Now let's pair that with service. When you do a power meet and greet and you're excited to get in front of that customer, does that change your customer's attitude? Right or not? You already have a positive attitude, right? You already have a winning attitude. You got a no excuses attitude. Does every customer that comes here, are they on the same level as you? No. Sometimes they come with the wrong attitude, right? Why? Why did they come with the wrong attitude? Previous experiences, perception of what they think you are, right or not? So whose attitude do I want to match right now? Do I want to match their fucked up attitude because they had a bad experience or they think or they feel a certain way about me? Or do I want them to match my attitude? Right or not? Guys, you set the tone for this. And when you go in and do that power meet and greet and you think of giving the opportunity to work with you today, my goal today is to provide you with world-class service. Before we get started, can I get you some refreshments? I got water, coffee, hot chocolate. What do you feel like today? And you turn that attitude around and you get the match here. Now things go a lot smoother. It is hard to be negative to somebody who's going over the top and being excited and being exceptional service and thank you for giving. Who the hell thanks somebody just for giving you the opportunity to work with them? Right or not? And I come over the top like it is hard to be negative to somebody like that, regardless of what I thought before arriving there. Right? Now all of a sudden, at the very least, I'm going to at least smile and give this person my time. Right? But I'm going to start this transaction on the right foot. One of our attitudes is going to be the dominant attitude here. That's what's going to happen. One of us is going to be the dominant attitude. And if I let, I don't want to be bothered right now, man. I just want to look. Can I look on my own? If I let that change my attitude and all of a sudden I come down to their level, who won? Right or not? No, I'm going to come over the top. Hey, man, I just want to thank you for coming in today. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to work with you. I'm going to turn them around. I'm going to make sure my attitude overcomes that one. Right? Okay. Trained. Is being properly trained part of providing excellent service? Right? Who the hell wants to work with somebody that's not trained in any business? It doesn't matter which one you go to. Anybody ever go to Home Depot? Right or not? Yeah. There's clearly a difference between Home Depot and Lowe's. If you go to the two of them, there's a difference. You could tell one of them spends quite a bit of time training their people before they let them talk to people. I go to Home Depot, ask for something. Me and this guy's walking up and down 15 fucking rows. I'm like, you don't have an idea where this is at, do you? I'm like, fuck, I could have done this by myself. Right? You go to Lowe's, they're like, oh, that's row 9 down to the end on the left. I'm like, fuck, thanks, man. I'm in and out of there. Right or not? Nobody wants to work with somebody that's untrained. And that's part of providing customer service. Whose responsibility is it to make sure you're good at your job? Right or not? It's available to everybody. It's all over the internet now. You know, it's so much easier today than it was when I started 25 years ago. 25 years ago, you had to learn a lot of this stuff through trial. And a lot of what I know is through trial and error. Today, it's available all over the internet. You can spend 15 minutes a day and just continue improving and raising your annual income with 15 minutes a day of training. It's available to everyone now. There's no excuse for it, right? Product knowledge. Are we ever going to know as much as one customer knows about a certain vehicle has been researching for 30 days? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. But do I need to know the basics of my product? Yeah. I don't want you guys to know everything about it because books don't sell cars either. Right? Emotion sells cars. Making people feel good sells cars. They've already made their mind up they want to buy a car, but they don't want to work with a dummy either. You know, you do need to know some basic product knowledge about your stuff, right? You want to know the easy way to just learn a little bit about your cars? Just read the window sticker. That's what it's there for. It's for us, not customers, really. It's so you can walk over to that window sticker, read off 2 or 3 things, and sound like you know what you're talking about. It's there for you. It's our cheat sheet, right? Confidence. Is being confident part of providing customer service? Do people prefer to work with people that are confident in doing their job? Right or not? If I've been researching this vehicle for 2 weeks, 15 hours, that's the average time a customer researches a vehicle before they walk into your lot. And now I walk into your lot. I am nervous. I'm a little scared. I've heard nothing but negative things about car salespeople, right or not? And now I walk up to somebody who's more nervous than I am. Is this going to end well? No. Okay, so easier said than done. How do I become confident? How do I get confident doing my job? By doing the rest of these. Okay? Training. Being excited when you're in front of your customer. Do I need to train to be excited? No, just be appreciative. Have an appreciative attitude. Okay? You guys can earn a lot of money. You have the option of that. It's your choice, right? How many professions do you get to dictate your income based on your own performance? There's not a lot of them. Okay? And besides that, are you doing anything before you're in front of a customer? Do you have an opportunity to make any money if you're not in front of a customer? So there's something to get excited about. Right. Now I got an opportunity to make some money. Be excited about that, okay? Confidence comes from reps, guys. Reps and wins. I put in enough reps, I get enough wins, and my confidence goes up. If there's an area that you're not confident in, you got to put in the reps right there. We have enough people in this room that are good at it. I don't care what subject it is, where you feel unconfident at, there's somebody in here that is confident, okay? And this room shares. We don't have, anytime I send somebody here from training from another store, whatever the case is, and I get their feedback when it's done, nothing but positive feedback, nothing but positive energy. Everybody there made me feel good. I was nervous when I went there because sometimes I'll send them here and I'm not even here. Some of you guys have worked with them, mainly at finance and sales managers. Send a guy here who's never been here, ask for somebody, and then when they leave and they give me their feedback, they go, they made me feel welcome from the start. I felt good the whole time, felt like I was part of the team, right? We have that environment here. There's nobody in this team that's not willing to share information with you if you ask for it. I guarantee you that, okay? But that's how we get our confidence, through reps and through wins, okay? Problem solvers, that's what we are. We're problem solvers. That's part of providing excellent service. Does every customer that come here have some type of problem or need? If they have a perfectly good car, they got a 2022 with 31,000 miles on it, there's nothing wrong with it and it's still under warranty, but they want to trade it in. Do they have a problem? They still got a problem. They're not happy with that car. Okay? If they're making a payment on something that they're considering trading it in, there's a problem there. It's not our job to be their psychologist. It's our job to help solve their problems. right? They may not be winning at the end of the day if it's logical thinking, but if I'm making a payment on something I don't like and the payment is coming out of my pocket and now I can make a payment on something I do like, that's a fucking win. That's a win. So whatever the problem is, big or small, it doesn't matter. We're problem solvers. That's what we do, right or not? Attitude and customer service equals gross. Okay, I'll tell you a story real quick. I told the guys in the Ford store this Friday. Last, I don't know, Thursday or Wednesday or something, me and my wife were in Bakersfield, and she looked up something to eat, and there was a place called like Brazilian Flame or something like that, but it was a Brazilian steakhouse. And we got there right when they opened at 5, so we were like one of the only people in. And it sat us, and there was only like 4 people there in the restaurant at that time because they just opened. And then the owner had his own little enclosed glass area where you could see him and his family were eating, which is pretty badass. I'm like, if I had a restaurant, I would want that. It's freaking tight, right? All the food was bomb. The salad bar, badass. Everything they had there was badass. I mean, top notch. It was a new restaurant. You could tell it was fairly new open. Every server that came around and gave us the meat offered their service on top of that. Can I get you some water? Can I get you some more sparkling water? You want me to top off that sparkling water for you? Have you tried the lobster soup? Do you like lobster? I'm like, yeah, you need to try the lobster soup. It's the best in town, so forth. Next person comes, hands me their meat, offers their services. Next person comes. I'm like, this is like over the top. The owner comes out from the glass room, introduces himself to everybody at the table. Thanks for coming out to my restaurant. I hope you enjoy yourself while you're here. If you need anything, let any one of my staff know. They'll all take care of you, right? They all participated in this customer service. It wasn't, tri-tip, gone. No, they stood there an extra 30 seconds, made sure there was anything else you needed, right? Bill came, it was $151. I left $300, right? And my wife saw me put $300 in there. She goes, how much was it? And I was like, it was $150. You're leaving $300? I go, yes. What message am I trying to tell them? I want them to be aware. I recognize this over-the-top service. You didn't do just the bare minimum. Everybody there went over the top. And I know they're splitting this thing. So I'm like, I need at least $25 per person right here. I need them to understand I saw that customer service and I appreciated that. What did it do? It obligated me. They didn't ask me for a tip. They didn't have to hand me that thing that says, can you just answer the question here real quick? Right or not? You guys see that? The new way to get the tip every time? And the question is 18, 20, or 22. They didn't have to ask me. And if they did, probably would have been smaller. I would have selected the 22. Right? I left them $150 because I wanted to make damn sure that they knew I saw that over-the-top service. What do you think that's going to do to their attitude? Do you think the next 10 clients got that same service now? Or they're still providing that same service? Because they know if they do it long enough, there's going to be another motherfucker like me that rolls through there and slides them fat for it. Right? I wanted them to be perfectly aware. I saw that. I recognized it. Keep it up. Keep putting in that work. People see that. Okay? Same thing applies to you guys. Same thing applies to you guys. When you do that over-the-top meet and greet, okay, it's going to be 105 out there soon. If you're dragging your ass to go get a key while you're leaving them out there in the sun, don't be surprised when you come back that they got to be somewhere in Fresno and they got to get going right now. Because they saw you dragging your feet. Because they saw the back of your heels is completely rubbed off. How do you think that happens? You're dragging your fucking feet. Pick your feet up and your shoe won't wear off the back. Right? They can see you dragging your feet back to the key machine, taking forever. Then the key's missing. Now it takes 8 minutes to get back out there. And hey, is it okay if we come back on Saturday? We got to get going right now. I got to pick up my kids in Fresno. You're like, seriously, what happened? Whose fault is that? It's your fault. That's your fault. Okay? You leave somebody out there in 100 degrees and you expect to provide customer service. Dude, you take off running. Let them see you run. Ask them to hang out in the shade. Guys, do me a favor. Hang out right here in the shade. I'm going to go get your key, but in case it's missing, it might take me a minute. I'll be right back. And run and get your key. Come do a little jog back. Let them see you sweat. Am I obligating my customer right there? It's hard to turn around and tell you I got to get going now when they see you putting in that work, right? Attitude and customer service, guys. Okay, that equals gross. Okay, Question here for you. When are we going to start treating this like a business? How many of you guys want to be a business owner? Anybody have an idea what comes with being a business owner? These phone calls that you guys have privilege to, these leads that are in your CRM, those things are $18 a pop. Whether you sell them a car or not, just getting that name and that number is 18 bucks. How many of us blaze through 20 of them like nothing and then go about our day? Or call them bad leads and delete them? If you spent $18, if you came to work and said, hey, here's $100, boss, can I get 5 leads? How hard would you work those fucking 5 leads? Right or not? 1 out of 5 is going to buy a car. I got $100 invested already. Every up that you get to shake hands with has a price tag on it. Last time I did the math, this was a couple years ago. It's probably more now. Last time it was $150 a head. That's just the advertising spent versus the amount of customers that we have logged to come into the store. That's not counting rent, payroll, office supplies, DMV. That's not counting any of these things. That's just the advertising dollars to shake a hand. Okay? My point is, you guys can be business owners now if you treat this like a business. The only thing is you don't have to deal with all the overhead, the stressful part. You think selling a car is stressful? Paying for all this shit is stressful. It's extremely stressful. I used to own a car lot. It's extremely stressful. I don't know if I ever want to do that again. Not when I can get 25% just to sell your shit and you pay for everything. Right or not? So when am I going to start treating it like a business? If I bought this and I owned this and I had to pay for all those leads and I had to pay for those visits, would I be working my social media like crazy then? Would I be letting everybody know who I am and what I do? Would I be putting it out there because I'm afraid if I don't do enough, I'm going to lose my business? Would I be working it then? Yes. Would I be making those calls with intent then? Yes, I'd be working those calls a lot harder. Would somebody have to ask me to make 25 calls a day if it was my business? No, I'd be making those 25 calls. Would I be getting a referral out of every customer that's sitting in front of me? After I make the sale, hey, most of my customers give me 3 referrals. Do me a favor, write down the names and numbers of the 3 people you think are most likely going to buy a car next. Here you go. Well, I can't think of anybody. That's okay. Think a little harder. I'll be right back. Right? Brainstorm with your wife. Figure it out. I need 3 people. Our attitude would be different if we had to cover these expenses. Trust me, from somebody who's been there, your attitude would be different, okay? You would have constant worry in the back of your head because you know there's a shit ton of bills right around the corner. You guys don't have those worries, but you have the same opportunities. Start treating it like a business, okay? It comes so fast. Some of you guys think this is temporary. And the next thing you know, you're 2 years down in the road. 2 years down the road. And you're seeing your customers trade in the car that you sold them 2 years ago, and now Omar's selling them a car, and you're like, shit. If I'd have just stayed in contact with that guy, that's my car deal. Right? Or you see your customer in the service department, and they got a different car than the one you sold them. Oh, when'd you get that? Oh, about a month ago, I bought it from Tony. Like, shit, did you ask for me? Right or not? Guys, start now. Start treating it like a business now. What would I do if this was my business? How would I treat this? Okay? You start treating this like a business, pretty soon you start getting paid like a business owner. You don't have to put up all the money to receive the benefits. You just have to treat it like a business. Okay? Went over that right there with you. Cost of this stuff. Okay? And what is your time worth? This goes back to being treated like a business. This goes back to attitude, customer service. What is your time worth? Okay? When you come here today, what is your time worth? Okay? When I first started selling cars, my first goal was to get out of a motel. I lived in a motel for you guys that don't know that. Okay? My second goal was to get a decent fucking car. The car I drove to work, the water ran out of the radiator and it was embarrassing. So I'd park down the street so none of you guys saw me putting water in that thing at the end of the shift because it'd be completely drained out of water. Okay? First goal was to get out of the motel. Second goal was to get a decent car. Third goal, once I realized there was money here, was make $10,000. That was my dream. How do I make $10,000? Right? What happens when you make $10,000? My increments were 5. Yeah. As soon as I hit 10, I hit 10. I can do 15, right? And when you hit 15, takes a little bit longer. You get 15, now what? 20. 20 became the norm. That was my goal every month as a salesperson. Okay, I need to make 10,000 the first 15 days. I made 10,000 the second 15 days. I broke it down bi-monthly. I wrote it on the top. It's $10,000. Every day I worked, I deducted from that 10 grand. I had to get to zero by the 15th, right? And if I got into the negative, meaning I was over 10 grand, that's even better. But I owed myself 10 grand for those 2 weeks. If I'm going to be here, I'm going to give up the weekends. I worked at Blackstone on that time. I rode motorcycles. My friends would ride by on Saturday, revving their bikes, just rubbing it in my face. I know where they're going. They're going for a ride to the hills. Yes, I would love to do that. But I'm here, and I'm going to make somebody pay for my time. Okay, I'm coming to work to win. I owe myself $10,000 for these 2 weeks for being here. And I held myself accountable to that. What is your time worth? Okay, you think of it like a doctor's office. You guys make a doctor's appointment, and it's 2 weeks out. How many follow-up calls do you guys get before that doctor appointment arrives?
6.
A lot, right?
Until you answer.
Yeah, call. Hey, this is so-and-so's office. Just reminding you of your appointment next Tuesday. Yeah, I got it at 3 o'clock. I'll see you there. Okay, perfect. We'll see you there. Anything changes, let us know. Next day, 2 days later, you get a text. Reminder text, right? Next day, the morning of. Why is that so important? The doctor's time. That time is money. You fill a 2-hour slot. That 2-hour slot is $1,000. That's what the doctor sees right there. They see $1,000 for a 2-hour slot. They don't care what name's on it, right? Because they know their worth. They know what they're worth. They got to get 2 hours for that slot. I mean, that $1,000 for that 2-hour slot. And they're verifying you're coming. What happens if you drop out? They're calling the next person. Hey, slot just opened up Tuesday. Can you make it Tuesday? Yeah, I can make it. They're going to fill that slot. Right or not? That's why you guys got to know your value. You got to know your worth. If you're coming to work today, you got to know what that's worth. And you can't take no for an answer. You can't have no excuses. If you're worth $500 a day, then go get it. Somebody's going to pay you that. But you got to have that attitude when you come to work. This is my worth. This is what it takes. I'm having coming with a winning attitude today, and somebody's got to pay me $500. Maybe it's $1,000. Somebody's got to pay me $1,000 today. That is what it costs for me to show up here. Make sense? Again, guys, listen. You change your thinking, you change your life. Okay? But you have to start manifesting all this shit. Okay? That's part of having the right attitude. The attitude is not just about being positive all the time. Yes, I want to be positive. But I need to have that winning attitude. I got to have that no excuses, that determination. I got to know my worth. And I got to hold myself accountable to that. And somebody's got to pay for that if I'm going to show up here. Right or not? Change your thinking, guys. Okay, this changed everything for me. After being a business owner and losing everything, going back to the car lot, realizing I can make all this money on somebody else's dime, that changed everything. It was so much less stressful. Okay, you guys are a business inside of a business. You got to treat it that way. Okay, 2 ways to sell cars. We know this already. Value or price. They both get the job done, right? If I sell my car cheap enough, somebody's going to buy it. Do they still leave happy? Why?
They still think you got them.
Because they bought on price and price alone. Price and price alone. At some point, we'll sell the car. I can sell it cheap enough, and then they leave going, something's wrong with it. You know, I don't know why you guys sold it that cheap. You know, I've even had people ask, why are you guys selling it this cheap? What's wrong with it? Right? Or they still leave and think you got over on them because you didn't provide any value. And that's our mindset. We're going, that's so cheap. That's a Mini. Do you want it or not? Don't expect me to do a good walk around. That's a fucking Mini. Do you want it or not? Okay, I'll take it. I still think you got over on me because I didn't provide no value. No, nothing in it for me. Right? Value or price, guys. There's 2 ways to sell cars. There's no other way. Okay? Let me ask you something. If I got the same product as everybody else, which we do, ours just costs a little more, right? Why would I buy my new car here versus somewhere else? This should be part of your walk around. Because remember, they've researched this car for 15 hours. They already know what they want. They already know what they want. The only question when coming here is, why should I buy from you and why should I buy from this location? I've already made my mind up I'm going to buy a car. And there's like several Toyota stores within 20 miles circumference of here. I can go any one of them. Why would I buy here? Why would I buy from you? Why would I buy from you, Gurdeep? Why would I buy my new Toyota here? Explain that to me. Give me the visual.
A lot of customers will think that that a relationship ends once you buy a car. In reality, sir, it's only beginning.
Okay. What else?
How long have you been in business for?
How long have we been in business for?
Since 1956.
Okay. What's that mean?
Operating dealership.
If I'm local here, is that important if I'm a local farmer here? Does that mean anything to me? Do local people like to keep their business local? Guys, listen, this is your walk around. Just explain to them, hey, let me tell you why more people in this area buy their new Toyotas right here than anywhere else. We've been in business since 1956, locally owned. Okay, the gentleman who started this business in Exeter from one small dealership. It was actually going out of business. When he bought it, there was 4 cars on the lot. His wife was a teacher. They lived off her income for 2 years while trying to build this business. So we appreciate local business like nobody else, right? Our relationship doesn't end when you buy a car. It just starts right there, Gurdeep said, right? We take care of our customers. I don't want to just sell you one car. I want to sell your family, your friends. I want to sell everybody else you know a car. And I know the only way I'm going to do that is providing you over-the-top customer service so you tell everybody about me. Like I'm going around talking about this fucking steakhouse in Bakersfield. If you ever go to Bakersfield, you need to go by this Brazilian steakhouse, right? Do your customers want to hear this? Don't be shy. Don't be afraid to tell your customers why they picked the right place and picked the right person. They already want the car. All they need from you is to know, is the car available? Where is it located? They know the car already. I just need to confirm why they picked the right spot and they picked the right person. Okay? I'm local right here in Hanford. I've been selling cars right here for 8 years. I take care of my customers. I'm going to see you at the grocery store sooner or later. I don't want to do this. Right or not? I want you to be comfortable, come up, shake my hand, introduce me to your friends right there at the store, get a referral. I know I'm going to see you around town. I take care of my customers. Does this make a difference, guys? Does this obligate your customers? Do we do this? Or do we focus on the car? Both. Good. And I believe you because you get a shit ton of referrals. Right or not? How long have you been in the business?
7 months.
How many referrals are you selling on a monthly basis now?
At least one.
But you're calling people from that have bought cars from us, getting them to come back and trade cars, right or not?
Yeah.
How many of those?
A lot. Like half of them monthly. 5.
Those are all referrals.
Yeah.
Those are just referrals from your friends that don't call their customers. So you need to thank, every day you come to work, you need to high five Dom and be like, hey. Be like, thanks, bro. Right? They all bought cars from us and he's gathering them up, yes or no? He's grabbing them up. He's grabbing them up. Those are all referrals. Yes. Guys, change our thinking. Okay? You want to be a business owner? Start treating this like a business. Okay? It's available to you now. Okay? Why would I buy my used car here? I could buy a used car anywhere. My used car walk around was 1 paragraph. I didn't even talk about the car. Okay? It was the same every time. Don, let me tell you why more people in the Selma area buy their used cars right here than anywhere else. You see that service department right there? I'm going to point to the service department. All of our used cars go through that shop. They go through an 80-plus point inspection. Whatever needs to be fixed, replaced, or repaired is done before we bring it out for sale. Then we back it with a 6-month or 6,000-mile warranty. Now, here's the crazy thing. Only about half the cars we put in actually finish the process and make it out. The ones that don't work, we run them back through the auction. You'll find those on other lots cheaper a lot of the times. We make sure we buy good cars for our customers here. Let me go grab the key. That's my whole walk around. I've done this walk around for 20 years. I don't need to ramble on about the car. We all know the guys that know everything about the car. They don't sell cars, right? They want to feel good. They want to know why here right now, right? And now, what other seeds did I just plant right now? When they ask me for a discount later or tell me some lie that they saw one cheaper somewhere else, have I already acknowledged that? I already let them know. Yeah. I see them cheaper around town too. We make sure our customers get exactly what they paid for. The last thing I want to do is sell you a cheap car with problems. Wouldn't you rather pay a little bit more and know exactly you get what you paid for? Wouldn't you rather buy something of quality, even if it costs a little bit more? Of course you would. Okay? I'm going to obligate them, and I'm going to make gross, and I'm going to make them feel good about it. Why? Because I provided them value. They don't want to buy a cheap car. They buy a cheap car, they leave feeling like they bought a cheap car. They want to buy a car for value, and they have no problem paying you gross because you obligate them. You see how these all tie together? These all tie together, guys, okay? You guys need to think of some lines on your new cars. Some customers will just flat ass ask you that. Why should I buy my car from you? And most of us don't have an answer. You need to start beating them to that and tell them that up front. Hey, you picked the right place. Here's why most people in the Selma area, here's why most people in the Central Valley buy their new cars right here. What am I telling with that sentence right there? There's a lot of psychology in this line. Do people want to do what everyone else is doing? Why? Why would you want to do what everybody else is doing? Social confirmation. If everyone else is doing it, it must be the right thing to do. Right? 2 taco trucks. Line of 12, nobody. The food must suck. I'm number 13 now. Right or not? Right or not? I can eat right now and I'm fucking hungry, but something's wrong there because these 12 motherfuckers are waiting over here. Something's wrong with that one. Must have roaches. We look for social confirmation, guys. If everyone else is doing it, it must be the thing to do. That's why I start that line that way. Let me tell you why more people in this area buy their new cars right here versus anywhere else. We're locally owned. We've been in business since 1956. We know what it's like to be small business owners, and we take care of our customers. I'm perfectly aware I'm probably going to see you at the grocery store sometime, and I don't want to hide my face from you. I want to go up and introduce myself and ask you how your truck's going. We take care of our customers. I want you to come back. I want to sell your family, your friends. I want you to continue doing business with me. I don't want to sell you just one car. What's your line again?
A lot of people think the relationship is over once the deal is done. In reality, it's only beginning.
There you go. Finish it off with that. Our relationship just starts when you buy a car from us, right? Same thing with your used cars, guys. Tell them why, okay? Attitude, service equals gross, equals obligation. Change your thinking, change your life. Get your head right, okay? Know why you're here. Know your worth, okay? I'll give you guys a couple minutes of question and answers. Cody had let me know that some of the guys were having some objections outside they needed some help with. So if you guys got any objections that you want to overcome right now, toss them at me. Let's get some ideas. We can get some ideas from the whole group. Anybody got anything you want to go over?
So one we have been getting, well, not a lot, but let's say you're on the test drive, AC doesn't work, or check engine light goes on. How do you overcome that?
Damn. Yeah, that sucks.
I mean, the guys have done a great job. Like Chris had one yesterday or a day before where the car didn't start. Went through detail, didn't start. Went to deliver it, didn't start. But he did a phenomenal job at doing that. Juan had one where the AC didn't work, but just something that we can give them to.
So, okay, for starters, let's try to be proactive on that, okay? We need to do, weekly, go out there, start our cars, pick a section, okay? As managers, you should probably put together a weekly schedule, and maybe Monday we do these 20 cars, Tuesday we do these 20 cars, because all we can do is offer our apology, offer a service, let them know we're going to get it taken care of for you. I'm glad that happened now, not a month from now when you own the car. Let's get that new battery put in there for you. I'll explain weather changes at batteries. It happens all the time, but it's still embarrassing. As managers, can we put together a program to help prevent that from happening? Right? Even, okay, I picked these 20 cars is Monday, these 20 cars is Tuesday. We work our way through the lot, so over 7 days, every car gets hit. What happens even if the car does start, but it's so low on gas, your customer's scared to take it for a test drive? Right or not? And then you got to go inside and get a gas tag. And you got to explain to your customer, if you're coming from here, Hey, there's like 6 U-turns involved before we can get back to the gas station. Does this kill momentum? It kills momentum. So why don't we just let's come up with something proactive to prevent that from happening? All right, let's get on that, because if that's something our guys have to consistently overcome, that's something that we can control. Right? What else? Who's got any outside objections need any help with? Everybody got figured out?
I just left by Sally. I already drove it. I don't need to drive it again.
Don't need to drive it again. Okay. Who's going to help me with that? Don't need to drive it again. Does this happen? Yeah. What are you going to tell me, Miguel?
Yes, sir, I understand that you don't want to drive it. Sorry. I understand you don't want to drive it. It's very important for me. Your time is very important. I want to make sure this is the right vehicle for you. Just take it outside for a quick drive. 2 minutes. If you love it, I'll make sure I show you my best price, payment, and interest rate. Fair enough?
Okay. Not bad. Not bad. This is a perfect third-party story scenario right here. That's what I was looking for.
This is
The third-party story scenario right here. Okay, I understand what you're telling me, Aaron. I completely understand that. Okay, I'll tell you a story. 2 months ago, I had a lady came and bought a new Toyota. She traded in the previous year. She did not want to drive it. She said, Curtis, I've been driving these my whole life. Well, it turns out they changed something with the interior. The seating was slightly different than her old one. A month later, she brought it back. It was killing her back. She asked if she can get her old one back. She didn't want the car no more. There was nothing I could do for this lady. She now owns a car that she's going to make payments on for 6 years. That hurts her back. I promised myself I would never do this to another customer again. Let's take it around the block. I want to make sure this one's perfect for you. Fair enough? Okay, I use that case right there. I'll use a third-party scenario right there. Has this happened? Has anybody ever sold a customer a car that insisted that they don't need to drive it? And then a week later, they bring it back and they don't like it? I've had them flip the story on me. I was never offered a test drive. You guys never let me drive it. Has this happened, Adam? And you're like, I asked you 5 times. No, I was never given an opportunity to drive it. I never got to drive it. I don't like this car. I use third-party scenarios right there, okay? If they say I don't have time to drive, I'll flip time on them. Let's say, Mr. Customer, I completely understand. If we go inside and negotiate this deal for 30 to 45 minutes, then when you drive it and you don't like the way it drives, now I've wasted an hour of your time when it only takes 2 minutes to take it around the block and make sure it's worth your time. Let me grab the keys. I'll be right back. If they say it's payment, I don't want to drive until I know I can get to the payment. I completely understand that. Let me ask you this. If we go inside and work those numbers and I get to 100% of your payment and then you don't like the car, are you going to buy it just because it got to your payment? Of course you're not. Let's take it around the block and make sure it's even worth making a payment on. Whatever, I'm going to boomerang it. Time, payment, boomerang. I'm going to use that excuse as the very reason why they should drive it. But if it's I drove one somewhere else, I've owned one my whole life, my brother has one, my coworker has one, I'm going to use a third-party story. I understand that, and I used to think the same thing. Here's what happened. I'll use a third-party story to overcome that. Make sense? Guys, listen. Change your attitude, change your life. This is serious shit, okay? I'm telling you from experience.